what Dr. Islam is saying, that the Ayushman Bharat beneficiary has to provide his Aadhaar card to get those benefits. So even if he or she does not have a mobile number, as long as the Aadhaar card is taken, it cannot be seen as a dummy beneficiary, is what he claims. On cost escalation in projects, he says that when you had the elevated corridor, for example, when you increase the number of lanes, that is where the cost escalation has taken place. These questions will be addressed. You cannot, I repeat, compare it to the large amounts which, according to the CAG, were lost during the 2G auction and indeed in the case of the coal mine auction. Your response?
So I will firstly put out a simple fact just to inform my worthy opponent from the BJP. You are talking about Aadhaar cards. Let's talk about Aadhaar cards for Ayushman Bharat. 4,761 cases have been found. And remember, this is not the full audit. 4,761 registrations for Ayushman Bharat have happened on 7 Aadhaar cards. Not on individual Aadhaar cards, only 7 Aadhaar cards. How are you going to explain that? Does that explain biometric? Does that explain that how do 7 Aadhaar cards actually result in the registration of almost 4,700 people? And this is just one stray number that I'm telling you. There are multiple more. Look, Rajdeep, the reality is that the CAG is India's Comptroller and Auditor General. It is meant to audit the government's expenses that are constituted by taxpayers' money, and each one of us is a taxpayer, rich, poor, middle class or otherwise, because we either pay indirect taxes or we pay direct taxes. The reality is that half this country, which is, the below 50%, is actually paying 64% of the GST. That's thanks to Mr. Modi. But the reality also is, because these numbers are being put by the CAG within Parliament to question the CAG and to say that they are such fools that they got the numbers wrong. I am actually waiting for the day when the BJP spokespersons will come on your channel and the government and the troll army and the BJP's fake news factory will call CAG anti-national. The CAG will be raided, the CAG will be shut down, the CAG will be said that they are conspiring with anti-Modi, anti-India international conspiracy. You mark my words, there will soon be a day when that happens. Okay, I want to say 2 more things here. Rajdeep. I think the abject silence of large sections of media, Rajdeep, and I congratulate you for having the courage to do a show on the CAG reports. No other show, not one. No other show barring this is happening in primetime television when 7 irregularities, 7 scams have been unearthed. I also want to say one thing here. A very, very big story has come to light today, and I think that shows the working of this government. Our investigative batch of journalists have found out that the anti-farmer laws that Mr. Modi eventually had to withdraw, had to rub his nose on the ground and withdraw those farm laws, were actually a figment of imagination that came from a software company owner in the United States. He was an NRI. He gave this suggestion. He became a task force. They started consulting the Adani Group, the Mahindra Group, the ITC, and that's how the farm laws came. This explains how they work. This explains who they work for. This explains their priorities. Okay. The reality, Zafar, is only one question I'm asking you. How could money from widow pension, old age pension, and physically challenged people be diverted for advertisements in any other scheme? It's morally corrupt. Forget about the economic irregularities.
Zafar Islam, say, you see that the rural development project, for example, rural development ministry's funds being diverted for advertising. These are issues that surely need to be looked at. You can't brush everything aside and saying that, none of these irregularities matter. This
not
is
at
the
all.
CAG
I'm not
report.
correcting. Rajdeep, I'm not brushing off any of the details or highlighted or the allegation she is making or the Congress party is making. All I'm trying to tell you that CAG has observed certain thing. Maybe the response of the ministry should have been very different than the way it has been captured in the CAG report. There are many instances in audit firm, when they do audit, they come up with so many observations. It is for the responsibility of the concerned people who are engaging the auditors to clarify every single observation they make. So if you go through the audit process, I'm sure the Supriya has gone, I have gone many times as a banker, that audit firm's responsibility to highlight issues all these observations, and then when you sit with them, you clarify with them. I think there are many clarifications which it should have gone, has not gone the way it should have gone. And that's why it is not that intentionally they are misrepresenting. The way they are representing it could be misleading.
You're claiming there is no malified
information
intention.
which is actually away from reality.
Okay. We'll wait and see.
Absolutely not.
Okay, you're saying
It's a
there's no
zero
malified
tolerance
intention.
corruption, zero
Supriya
tolerance on
Shrinate
corruption. That is
says
something
there are
which is
7
a
clear...
stated objective of this government.
Okay. Ma'am, I want to leave it
Can
there.
make
I
a small
appreciate...
point, please?
Yeah, you have 30 seconds,
20
Supriya Shrinate,
seconds.
not a minute, not a second
20
more.
seconds is all I asked for.
Yes.
I'll
30
finish it in
seconds to
15.
me too.
It's not just the financial irregularities. It is also the bidding and the
45
tendering
seconds.
process that is flawed in Bharatmala, that is flawed in the Ayodhya development project, that's flawed in other projects. It also raises question. A safety consultant wasn't appointed in some sections of the Bharatmala project. That's how you prioritize human lives in this country.
Okay,
so
your time is up.
Isn't about financial irregularities, which there are,
Okay.
but also about
Sir,
the bidding and the tendering process. No due
Zafar
diligence
Islam,
done.
20
No
seconds to
safety
you.
consultants.
Ma'am, you've
That's
made your
who you
point.
are.
You've crossed Zafar Islam, 20 seconds to you.
Actually, it is our government which believes in transparency. The bidding process is absolutely transparent, unlike during the Congress regime where the deal was made by the minister himself. Who are you trying to preach?
Okay.
Everyone knows
At
what
the moment,
the
of
Congress
course,
party was doing
at the
in this
moment,
ministry.
years
They were
of
bringing all the
governance.
At the
all
moment,
the
the BJP is in power. This is a CAG report on specific departments in the Modi government. The government is now saying they will clarify on the issue.
India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye. Unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% news that matters. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV. India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye. Unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% news that matters. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV. India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye. Unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% news that matters. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV.